Hello everyone, welcome back to Pencil Icon Modeling. This is the part 2 and the last part. And in this part, we're gonna unwrap the model, create materials, and take renders. So if you're ready to begin, let's get it started. Before we go for unwrapping, I would like to do some modification here on the modeling. For example, here I would like to change this distance and also this tip. I would like to make it sharper. So to do that, go to edit mode by hitting tab. Also up there, we have a little guy called X-ray view. By pressing Alt Z, you can turn it on and off. So we can go to X-ray view, hit 1, select these vertices, hit G and Z, and put distance on 0.06. Also this guys, G, Z, and minus, actually go for minus 0.06, and hit tab to go back, and for this tip, go to edit mode, select these vertices, hit S for scaling down, hit G, Z axis to make it sharper, like so. And again, hit Alt Z to go back. And I think this is more fine. And to exporting this model, we can select each part and apply the modifiers. In this case, we only have subdivision surface, or we can go to File, Export, and OBJ. And here under Geometry, we have something called Apply Modifiers. So by checking this, you don't need to apply each modifiers to your model. It will automatically apply all the modifiers, and you can check this to do that. And if you have other models in your scene, you can check selection only. It will select only what you selected in your scene. So in this case, we don't have other objects, so we don't need this. So we can call this pencil UV because we want to go in unwrapping. So I just call this and hit export. All right, let's unwrap the model. All right, now we're on the Rizom Unfold 3D. Let's add our model by going to File, Load, and select the OBJ. By holding Alt and middle mouse button, you can pan, and by holding Alt and left click, you can rotate through the object. And also by pressing F4, you can go for selecting the islands, and F2, we're going on the object on the edge mode. All right, let's start with this razor part. Double click on the edge to make a loop and press C to make a cut. All right, and let's make another cut here. All right, and to see the unwrap, to make it unwrapped, to unwrap this part, select the island by pressing F4, this island, and hold Control and this island, and press U to unwrap the model. Let's continue. Press F2, select this edge, double click to select the edge, press C to cut. Also this part, we need to make it cut right here, press C, and also double click here to make it selection, press C to cut, also another cut right here, and also this one, double click, press C, right here, C. All right, so press Ctrl 8 to select them all and hit U to make the unwrap. Also press P to pack your UVs here. Okay, to see your how correctly is your unwrap under texture, you can select the checker and you can increase your tiling here. All right, so let's do some modification. For example, right here, this island, which is here, you can straighten your edges. So by doing that, select this edge. Under the select, press parallel select to select all the parallel edges. Also under align, press horizontalize. So do the same thing on the vertical edges, double click, parallel, and verticalize. So it will straighten the edges. Also for this part, we can select the vertical edges, parallel selection, and verticalize. Horizontal edges, parallel, and horizontalize. Okay, and for this part, double click, parallel, horizontalize, double click here, and verticalize. All right, so this little line, parallel, horizontalize the vertical edges, parallel, and verticalize. All right, for this part, it's a little tricky. Select one horizontal edge, parallel, and horizontalize. Also select this one, parallel, and verticalize. Also, we have to optimize this one. To do that, select this upper edge, and under the constraints, select the horizontally constraint. Do the same thing down here. Also for the vertical part, and press F4, select the island, and go for optimize, and select it, and do this a couple times. All right, and for seeing the direction of your UVs under the texture, you can select the texture grid. It shows you the direction of your grid. So we need to rotate some of them. This is okay. This island could be rotate. So to rotating this island under here, you can select this rotation 180 degrees. This one is okay. This one can be rotated. And everything is fine now. All right, so select all of them, and under the layout, under the pack, select these pack translate. Now we have to export and save these UVs. To do that, go to File, Save As, and select your last UV, your OBJ, pencil UV, and press yes. So this UV will save on your last OBJ. So we can continue by going on the painter. All right, here we are in Substance Painter. Let's add our model go to File, New, Select, and select your model. Hit OK. Go to Edit, Bake Mesh, change the output size to whatever you want. I put the 4K. And check this one, use low poly mesh as high poly mesh because we just have one model. Go down, anti-aliasing for X4 and uncheck the ID map and hit bake selected textures. We have to wait until Substance Painter bake our textures. All right, let's continue. Now we have to separate each part of the model by making mask. To do that, let's delete this layer, add a fill layer, and right click here under the base color. Let's change the color to whatever you want. It's not important, just adding different color to separating each part. Later on we have to make our material on that. So just select a color, whatever you want, hit the layer, so press Ctrl G to make a group, add a black mask, and here polygon fill, click on that, select the UV chunk fill, and select the part you want to mask, the tip of the pencil. Double click here, change the name to tip. Okay, add another fill layer, change the color, Ctrl G to make group, add black mask, and select this part. I want to change the name to wood, add another one, change the color, Ctrl G, add black mask, and select the body. Okay, add another one, right click, change the color, Ctrl G, add the black mask, and select here iron, another fill layer, right click, color, and Ctrl G, black mask, select this part and this part, and we just done. Okay, go back to the tip, go to window, to view and asset, to bring on our asset, select the smart material and search for charcoal, click and drag and put it right here. Okay, we added charcoal here. I think it's already perfect, we don't need to modify that. Let's continue for the wood part. Here search for wood chest, put it right here. It's a little bit dark, we need to make it brighter, so open this smart material, go to fiber, and change this overlay to something like 10. Okay, let's continue on the body. Body can be a yellowish color, and for the roughness we can go for cloth fold medium and decrease the balance to something like 0.25, and here you can see our scene, UV scene. To solve this problem, right click, go up under the projection, change the UV projection to triplanar projection, so it would solve the problem. Also, let's change the balance to 0.35. Okay, let's continue on the iron part. Go to material and search for galvanized iron. Okay, so right click under the finish, change the size to 1, and let's decrease the intensity like so. Okay, I forgot to rename this. Let's call this razor, and let's change the color to something pinkish reddish like so, and change the roughness to Perlin 3D Perlin fractal, and that's it. Now we have to export our texture. To do that, go to File, Export Textures, change the folder. I already make one, pencil texture. Select that, select folder, output template on Unreal Engine 4 packed, file type to Targa, 8-bit, and 4K, and hit export. So here we done the material. Let's continue for the render. Here we are on the Marmoset Toolbag 4. Right click here and hit import model. Select your model. Here select one material and select this thumbnail beside normal map. Go to your texture folder and select your normal. Let's add this to your model. To do that, select your model and select your material, right click and hit apply. All right, let's continue adding our textures. Under albedo, select base color, and then we have roughness, metalness, and occlusion, which is turned off. We have to click here and add occlusion. Put the channel for occlusion on R, for the roughness G, and for metalness B, RGB. Okay, I have to mention that you have to flip your normal to y-axis. All right, another thing, we have to add the roughness. Right click, copy textures, and right click, paste texture. Also paste texture on the occlusion. The point is your normal should turn off this sRGB color space. Your albedo have to be turned on, and also these three have to be turned off. This is a tip. Okay, we just add our textures. Go to render. Down here under the image, change it to 1080. Okay, go up. Under the ray tracing, use ray tracing on and advanced ray tracing sampling also on. Okay, let's add a camera. Go down under the lens, turn on the safe frame, and for the field of view, put this on 110 to decrease the perspective. Okay, go down and under the tone mapping, change the linear to aces. Change the curve a little brighter. Okay, also you have to turn this to full quality. Okay, By holding shift and right click, you can rotate your HDRI. Okay, we have to increase our exposure, for example 2 or 1.5. Go down under sharpness, change this to 0.5, bloom 0.52. I'm sorry, let's turn off the bloom and turn off also the grain. We don't need that. Bigness maybe 0.3, 0.5. Okay, so that's about the camera. Let's go to the sky. Under the library, you have so many HDRIs. I use abundant house. Okay, for the backdrop, put it on color and change the color to something grayish. Okay, so increase the brightness and rotate the sky. Better we change the angle of the pencil. So go to your pencil object, go to transform. Under the rotation, change the Z rotation like so, and Y rotation. Okay, so under the sky, if you click on this HDRI, you can add a light. So here is a light which you added. Click here, click and drag to make it outside of the sky and detach it from that. Okay, so let's increase the brightness. Click here and rotate your light. So this is so sharp. By increasing the diameter of the shape, you can soften your light and the shadows. Let's bring it up. Actually, this is sometimes tricky, so bring it up like so and rotate this. Decrease the brightness. And let's add another light by clicking on HDRI. Detach it from the sky. Okay, let's increase the brightness. And rotate this here. Increase the diameter. All right, for exporting this image, this render, go to render, go down to add the camera, because we add another camera, which is camera 1. Under render, go down, render cameras, add one and select camera 1. Turn off the main camera because we don't need that. Go up under the output image and select where you want to export that, and just hit render image. Wait for the render, and here we go. This is our render. You can get the better result by adjusting the lighting more precise and better. So it all depends on how you change this lighting. I think this could work too. This one could work too. And I'm sure you can get more precise and better lighting. So just keep trying and playing with this and get the better result. So this is the end. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed this part. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next tutorial.